Hi, everybody. This is G Brown, the lifestyle changer. Tonight, I just want to say this. I'm putting up a warning because we're going to use some videos and pictures in tonight's episode that might be disturbing to some. So I'm letting you know ahead of time. I'll prop that up again just to let you guys be aware of tonight's episode. I just want to say welcome, everyone. I want to say this is episode 43 of our Meaty Mondays. Yes, with the Fierce Felines. We're so excited to
Yes.
have all you guys here tonight, live or replay. As always, we're here to share our journey, our insights, tips on the carnivore diet. Tonight is a little different. We're going to show our personal testimony and stories. So I'm ready.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
I don't have
See, I
any.
know. I tried to let
I need
them
a
know
towel.
I'm ready,
Oh my
guys.
gosh.
So go ahead, Robyn.
All right, my name is Robyn Heron, and I am your carnivorous grandma. We are so glad to be back with you guys again for episode 43. Yeah, I hope it doesn't get too emotional because y'all know I'll be like, stop it, I say. Okay. All right, Laura, you're up.
Hello. Yep. Hello. From Healthy Carnivore. In today's show, we're going to discuss real stories of healing through the carnivore diet, including autoimmune disorders and insulin resistance, which is massive out there. It's so prevalent in today's society. So stick around because we have lots to share, including Rhonda's News We Can Use segment. And don't forget to join the conversation in the comments below.
There we go. So
So,
before we
yeah.
dive into all of these topics, let's start with Rhonda's news that we can use. Go ahead and pop her segment in.
Hey, Rhonda.
Hi, everybody.
She's live.
Live and in person.
Yes, everybody, round of applause. She is live tonight with us.
Yes.
So that is like surprise number one. All right. So we're so happy. Go ahead, girl, with the news we can use.
All right, everybody. Well, I don't know if most of you know, but a couple of weeks ago, I was blessed to attend the Low Carb USA Symposium for Metabolic Health Conference in San Diego, California. So this conference addressed various areas that can benefit from metabolic health interventions, including therapeutic carbohydrate reduction. In addition, they devoted a whole day to mental health and metabolic psychiatry. And so what I was going to do is just recap just my top 5 presenters that resonated with me. There were over 25 presenters there, so I'm just going to go over my top 5. And the first speaker that I'm going to talk about is Dr. Anthony Chafee. He talked about ketogenic carnivore athletes and the 3 benefits for them being in a ketogenic state. And number 1 was that they have unlimited energy for cardiovascular performance. And 2, this way of eating promotes muscle growth and fat loss. So they have great body composition. And number 3 is athletic longevity. So they can be athletes for longer. So more and more athletes, pro athletes, are benefiting from the ketogenic carnivore diet, and some of them are coming out and sharing their experience. And Dr. Chafee mentioned, I think, approximately 15 to 20 of these athletes, but I'm only going to name 2. The first one is Nick Bosa, who is a top NFL defensive lineman for the 49ers, and he's keto. And then Puka Nacua, who is an NFL LA Rams wide receiver, and he's carnivore. And so the next speaker I want to talk about is Dr. Tony Hampton. He presented an overview of the ketogenic diet therapy, which consists of limiting daily carbohydrate intake, getting adequate protein, and emphasizing fat intake to achieve and maintain ketosis. He also went over the therapeutic carbohydrate reduction model, where the goal is to achieve metabolic health. He discussed the medical conditions that benefit from those models, such as diabetes and metabolic disorders. And he also went over the medical conditions that are best treated in ketosis. And those conditions are neurological disorders, mental health conditions, and cancer. And so the next speaker I'm going to talk about is Dr. Georgia Ede, who's the author of Change Your Diet, Change Your Mind. And she presented her topic about metabolic psychiatry, the science of hope. Thanks to metabolic psychiatry, which is a rapidly growing, really exciting new field, psychiatrists now have a really powerful tool to improve not just a few chemical imbalances in the brain, but to fundamentally change the brain's operating system. So all of the systems inside the brain work better. And that tool is the ketogenic diet. And so one of her presentation, she had a quote that I just love, and it states, "If you want to balance your brain chemistry, you need to unbalance your diet." So I totally agree with that. And then the fourth speaker is Dr. Eric Berg, who talked about magnesium. And he said it's the vital mineral for optimal health. And he said the most important thing to know about magnesium is that it is needed to make adenosine triphosphate, which is ATP. ATP is the source of energy for use and storage at the cellular level. So magnesium is essential for energy production because ATP is not active until it binds with magnesium. And to see that the last speaker, speaker 5, is Dr. Robert Siwes. He's carnivore, and he talked about the carnivore diet, a clinical reality check. He talked about insulin suppression and what a healthy carnivore diet should look like. His view is that the flesh and muscles of animals are primarily a macronutrient provider and doesn't provide adequate micronutrition. And he stated that there are 5 major sources of carnivore micronutrients, and those sources are eggs, liver, small fish, shellfish, and dairy. So his view might be a little bit different from a lot of the other carnivores out there, but that's his view. And also regarding supplements, he said that it's the best, that the best supplements are in the food that you eat. So he's not a big proponent of taking supplements. Let's see. He also talked about that the most important ingredient on the carnivore diet is fat, and the least important is protein. And he stated that it's impossible to undereat protein on a carnivore-based diet. And if we get excess protein, the liver turns it into glucose and glycogen, then triglycerides, which blocks ketosis and HDL production. So I thought that was very interesting to know, and I didn't know that. There were, like I said earlier, so many amazing speakers like Dr. Brett Scher, who spoke on keto and mental illness, Paul Mason, who spoke about why you should be cynical of published science, and Dave Feldman, who provided new insights on the lean mass hyper LMHR, lean mass hyper responder study. So they were very, very good, interesting presentations. And so as you know, I met a lot of these doctors, and I did take photos, and I wanted to share some of those photos with you if I could, if you don't mind, G. So let me go to, let's see, present, see if I can do this. Share screen. Okay. So can you guys see this? No? Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I wasn't sure. So as you can see in this photo, this is Dr. Anthony Chafee. He was the first doctor I met. And then there is Dr. Tony Hampton. And I was so starstruck, you guys, meeting these doctors. And then this is Dr. Paul Mason and his cute son. And then also the Dr. Georgia Ede.
Oh, nice.
And this is Dr. Philip Ovadia. These
Yes.
doctors were so nice. And I also met some other amazing people there, which I want to share with you. Do you recognize these ladies? This is Christy from Meeting Wellness. She is the Picanha Princess. And on the right is Jenny Mittich. And let's see who else I have here. This is Courtney Luna. I met her at Dr. Chafee's meetup, which was amazing. And I ordered her cookbook on pre-order from Amazon. So I can't wait to get that. And this was the group meetup, Dr. Chafee's group meetup. So I met a lot of nice, wonderful people here. And also met someone who recognized me. And I think her name is Marie, or she goes by Mimi. And she was really nice. She came up to me and she recognized me. In fact, she asked me, when am I going to come back on this live stream? So I hope you're watching today because I am here. And this was another group setting at the low carb event at one of the dinners. So I just wanted to share those photos with you. Let me see if I can get out of this now.
There we
How do
go.
I unshare the screen? Stop sharing.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Yep.
There we go. So thank you for watching news you can use from the carnivore community. I had a blast at that convention.
I am so happy that Rhonda is here. Like this, I feel like we're being graced with her presence. It's just so awesome. And Rhonda's news segment is absolutely incredible. I appreciate all the work that you do to bring us news you can use from the carnivore community. I know a lot goes into that. So thank you so much, Rhonda.
Yes.
You're welcome.
So I would really like, G, if you wouldn't mind popping back up your warning. Tonight, I'm going to talk a little bit about eczema. So I want to share my story of eczema and warning, videos and pictures used in tonight's episode might be disturbing to some. So I'm going to share some photos. I talk a lot about my eczema and how I have dealt with eczema ever since I was a little baby. And so I kind of want to show you guys a little bit of how bad my eczema was before I went on the carnivore diet. So eczema is an inflammatory condition. It causes dry, itchy, and red skin. It can be quite challenging to manage. And carnivore has been a game changer for me. So I'm going to share my photos really quick here. Let me just present the screen. And so let me see if I can make it bigger. I got my mouse going everywhere here. Okay. All right. So at the top is where you guys see my eczema. When I talk about dyshydrotic eczema, this is a condition that causes your skin to basically blister and peel off. It started for me when I was about age 20, and I started having these blisters on my fingers, and I would go in and have shots into my fingers to try to, it was cortisone shots that I had in my fingers. This is the worst it's ever gotten. And in this case, my hand, literally the whole hand peeled off. And I lost my fingerprints. So I had to go travel for work, and I needed to go and have fingerprints taken. And I did not have fingerprints because my hands blistered and peeled off. So at the top, you see that. And at the bottom, you see my hand just the other day. So, and you guys know that if you watch my channel, you know that I sometimes still get flare-ups of this dyshydrotic eczema if I eat the wrong thing. Now, when I was going to the dermatologist, they told me that eczema did not have anything to do with diet, nothing whatsoever. There's nothing you can do to stop it. There's nothing you can do to make it better. There's nothing you can do to make it worse. It has nothing to do with diet. Well, I personally knew that mine was caused by it was caused by the foods that I was eating, but I wasn't sure what kinds of foods were causing the problem. And what I can say is that for me, sugar is deadly. Like I cannot have sugar at all in any form. So anything that, high carbohydrate foods that convert to sugar will cause this to happen. It'll cause that blistering. Recently, I tried to bring back in some heavy cream into my diet, and my fingers started to blister, and I'm still kind of facing a little bit of that, the end of that going. There's a cycle that this goes on. So for those of you that have dyshydrotic eczema, you know that it goes through a cycle. It goes through this blistering, and then it goes through peeling and drying, and it doesn't always happen all at the same time. So it would be nice if your whole hand blistered and then the whole hand peeled and then it dried, but no, it's all in patchy spots. And so, you might have it on one finger today, the next finger tomorrow. It's just really horrible. And it itches so bad. It itches so bad, you guys. The only thing that really helps with the itching, and don't judge me, but scalding hot water, basically boiling your hands in hot water is the only thing that really touches that itch. And so I'm sure that doesn't help when you're looking at, my hand and it's peeling and I'm constantly running it under hot water. Even washing your hands it's drying to the skin. And so, scalding it with hot water is probably the absolute worst thing that you could do, but it's the only thing that will touch that itch. It's such a deep itching feeling. And so carnivore diet has changed my life in this regard. So the next picture over, you can see this is my face before I went on carnivore. I looked like I had 2 black eyes. I always talk about this. I had these raccoon eyes, circles around both eyes. I had spots. I had a circle around my mouth that was just constantly there. And I think it comes from constant rubbing. So my face would always itch. So I would constantly be rubbing it and it would turn it dark. I would constantly be rubbing my eyes. And so you can see that picture at the bottom is today, this morning. So you can really see the difference in the way my face looks from carnivore diet. I actually, this went away within the first 30 to 45 days. On my face, it went away within 30 to 45 days. And I've literally always had it. It was so bad. Even my parents are like, oh my gosh, your face is so clear. Because I have never had clear skin. I've always had this eczema face. So I'm going to stop sharing that. But it's just been an absolute nightmare my entire life, dealing with eczema. And I know that there are worse things that people could have, but eczema is absolutely intolerable. And it is worth giving up a lot of things for. So, things like French fries and stuff. Now, fries and corn are my jam. I used to love me some fries. And I remember even when I was on keto, I would go and I would get 5 fries because they each had 1 carb. And I would eat 5 carbs worth of fries, because I really, really like potatoes and I love corn. But those starchy foods really, really damage my skin. And so, so this is the way that it's been for me my entire life. Since I was a baby. I was the little baby that had the mittens on the hands and the socks on the feet because I was rubbing myself and itching myself when I was an infant. And I believe it was from the sugar that was in the formula. If you guys remember, back in the day, they used to give babies Caro syrup. They would make formula out of Caro syrup. Can you imagine? Corn syrup? And I was itching. I was just an itchy little baby. And I see this with my grandkids too, like that they're itchy, they're struggling because they have eczema and they're itching. So, eczema is a really difficult thing. And I know that there are other autoimmune conditions such as psoriasis, which also blisters and oozes and itches like the dickens. There's rosacea and a whole bunch of other ones, a whole host of other ones. But what I can say is the carnivore diet is anti-inflammatory, right? It's anti-inflammatory, and it alleviates, it heals, it cures these autoimmune conditions. You hear it all over. If you're watching the YouTubers, you hear them talking about all kinds of autoimmune conditions that are being healed and cured, placed into remission, whatever you want to call it, by going on a carnivore diet. I highly recommend, if you are concerned, like I'm worried about doing a carnivore diet long term, do a 90-day trial. Do a 90-day trial. Elimination. Call it an elimination diet. I'm going to eliminate everything to see what's going to happen with my skin. And I promise you, you're going to be amazed. Now, there's so many other benefits, but the eczema thing, and having had that all of my life, and now no longer having to deal with that, unless I incorporate or introduce something that is not good for me, my body immediately will tell me, like, you cannot have that. I did a week of dairy, like heavy cream. I did a week, 1 tablespoon of heavy cream in my coffee each day for a week, and my fingers went on blast. So, my body is like, nope, that's the thing. That's it right there. You can't have that. And so it's really been a blessing to me. And having to deal with that all of my life has just been such a struggle. So I wanted to share those pictures today because I've talked a lot about eczema. People don't realize how bad eczema can be, and how your skin literally will just peel off. Can you imagine? It was so painful because underneath those blisters, like a huge blister in the palm of my hand, is raw skin. Like, it's just raw under there. And it went on and on and on. I went to the doctor. I tried to get, creams and ointments. None of that stuff actually works. The hydrocortisone cream, it doesn't touch the itching. So I wanted to share my story, a little bit of my story of eczema. I wanted to kind of share these photos with you guys today and let you know that the carnivore diet has changed my life in this regard.
Okay, there you
Wonderful.
go.
Yeah. So, just from what I have seen with my clients that I've worked with, plus some of my patients, is part of the reason I think a lot of the autoimmune goes away. The issues you have is that meat-based diets are higher in zinc, they're higher in vitamin A, K2, D3, plus a lot of us take K2, D3 on top of that, which benefits the immune system. The other thing that I think why this way of eating really helps is because you're eliminating sugar, processed foods, a lot of those things. Those things have lots of oxalates, phthalates, lectins, which all of those are horrible. So lectins actually block your absorption of calcium, which is kind of scary. Iron and phosphorus. It also can do that with zinc. Oxalates actually like to bind to calcium and prevent it from being absorbed. Then come along with your seed oils. And even if you just have, like, we went out to eat one time this year, just last weekend. And I said, please just do my steak on the grill with nothing. Don't put anything on the grill. I want it. And I said, I'm allergic to seed oil. And before we left, the roof of my mouth felt like it was going to peel. It was so bad. I called the server out and I said, I was very specific of asking him not to have anything on the grill. I know he used the seed oil. She said, oh, yeah, he definitely did. I watched him do it. I said, okay, I will never be back. And I said, that means you lose your tip and he loses his tip, because I tip both. I tip the chef and I tip the servers. And I said, so there will be no tip today. And so it's unfortunate. But those seed oils, and everybody reacts differently. Like, mine was the soft palate at the back of my mouth. just swelled up and itched, and then the skin burned on the roof of my mouth. That was the symptom I got. And then if you can hear my nose, I'm still fighting that sinusy from that. It'll probably take a couple weeks of, being away from that. So I do think that people that eat this way, it's really important that if they just try it, I think they're going to see some benefits from that. So, yeah. Let's see, what else did I want to go over? Speaking about autoimmune disorders, we're going to talk about several things today. So, like your mixed connective tissue disorder, or MCTD. That's a rare autoimmune disorder that involves features of like MS, multiple sclerosis. It's similar, can present like lupus, scleroderma that affects the skin, muscles, the internal organs are all affected. It's incredibly rare and very hard to diagnose, mostly because there's so many little symptoms that they go after those. They don't see the big picture sometimes. So I think we should go on to G, because she has some very personal experience through Daniela with this. So would you like to share that?
I sure do. But before I start, Rhonda, did you have anything you wanted to add in, or question, or anything, or we can move forward? Just let me know. You good?
I just wanted to let Robyn know, I know exactly what you're going through, not because I ever had it, but my daughter suffers from eczema almost all her life. I want to say since she was 5. And it seems like it's gotten worse and worse as she got older. And I can totally relate to the scalding water, because she also told me that's the only way it would relieve the itch. But she has been putting castor oil on her skin, thanks to Laura. I asked her to try it. And I think the castor oil is actually helping her. So I just wanted to add that. But she doesn't
I will
want to
just chime in.
carnivore.
I did try castor oil.
Mm-hmm.
Castor oil caused my eczema to flare a
Oh
little bit.
no, so sorry.
So I had to when I put it on, I have to use rubber gloves, because it doesn't, it doesn't agree with my hands. But it could be, I tried it early on too, when Laura first told us about it. So it could be better now after I've been on carnivore for this long. So I might try it.
I wish she would do carnivore, but she's not interested in carnivore. She's tried it, but anyway, go ahead, G. Thank you for
Frederick had a question. Do you have can you do fingerprints now, or your did they come back?
I don't think so. I haven't done them because I had to, have to do it for your passport. I did it like it's going to be coming up again pretty soon. So when I go back again, I'll find out if it doesn't look like I have, at least not on all my fingers.
Okay. All right. Well, let me put this up again. It's a warning for the video that I am about to show. It might be disturbing to some. I'm just letting you guys know ahead of time. Laura, unmute yourself, because I want you to read this portion for me.
Okay. Let's see. The thing's over, but connective tissue. Yeah. So connective tissue disorder is an autoimmune disorder that features a combination of symptoms from lupus, scleroderma, polymyositis, making it an overlap syndrome. Common symptoms include Raynaud's phenomenon, which I used to have, swollen hands, joint pain, muscle weakness, and skin changes. The exact cause of MCTD is unknown, but may have genetic predisposition, environmental triggers, and hormonal factors. It is diagnosed through clinical evaluation and the presence of specific autoantibodies. Treatment focuses on managing symptoms and may include medication, physical therapy, and lifestyle changes, often requiring a multidisciplinary and medical approach.
Thank you. Thank you. So to let everybody know, this is the story of my daughter, and I've never shared what I'm about to share. That's where the disclaimer comes in. and everything. I feel that when we do this show, the same way I spoke about like Frederick not being able to walk, but when I showed you the video, Robyn talks about her eczema on her hands. But when I saw that picture, I said, that's what the people need to see, because a lot of people are using formula, and the formula has the sugars, and their babies have eczema, and you're ready to put all the creams and the lotions because they're so small. It's that formula. So I don't know. Laura can chime in on what's besides for those that can't do breast milk, because I'm going to assume that is the best thing. I don't know what you can do
Goat's
for
milk.
that. Just regular milk?
Goat's milk.
Goat's milk, everybody. And you
Mhm.
guys can find that if you can't use your own. So
Yep.
with that being said, I felt that this show was really, really important. And I said, okay, I need to share the story. I'm going to show you guys a video, and then we'll talk after that. The video, I tried to put music to it, but then I couldn't get it in here. So there's no music.
Wow.
So that was Danielle. I did that video of her baby on her, so later I could show her how she never left her side. My mother was in that room, my other daughter, and Daylon, who y'all all see, that was him as well.
Mhm.
Right. That video was taken, and then the people said that they're going to send her to ICU. And I said, okay, well, I tell you what, I'm going to go. So when she comes in, she'll see me. That next picture is how she arrived at ICU. They put her on life support after that. And then, of course, January 12th, they started taking her off life support at 3. And by 7, she had took her last breath. The reason why I'm doing this is because I believe with the carnivore diet that my daughter would still be here, that her children would have her. Autoimmune, lupus. We're doing this show because I want you to know eating this way can change your life. I can't say it. I can't say it enough. If you let me look over here in comments. For her, for what it is that she went through, her children no longer have her. I'm saying to you guys, eczema, high blood pressure, diabetes, arthritis, this chronic stuff. You do not have to live that way. We
That's
come
right.
on here every week. We're sharing things. This is where we're coming from. So when I'm seeing someone, you don't have to go through what I went through. You don't have to not have your kid here. You don't have to try and step in the gap for her children.
Right.
Change what you're eating. If that did not show you, you can, her struggle, she in the hospital, we still feeding her the wrong food. We're doing things, we're constantly eating what was not designed for us. Rubber soles were never designed for us to do. We leather sole, but not even the way that they turn around and they're making them. So you can stay connected to the earth. We're missing out. We're shortening our lives, not knowing that pretty much everything on the inside of that grocery store is not meant for you. Your stomach is upset. You need to take a little lemon juice. Have at it. You need a little ginger or something. Just have at it. Every day it's like taking antibiotic and aspirins every day. And that's not what you want. I'm saying to you that this way of eating can change you. Laura, mixed connective tissue, all of when they said it, and I look at some of the symptoms, that pretty much her body was just attacking herself, that it was just attacking her, and it didn't have to be. That says to me, what we're putting in our bodies confuse the hell out of us to make our bodies want to attack itself. Hello.
Yep.
Robyn's hands.
Yep.
Food did that.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's the part that just really, really gets me. Food did that. And we have to know better. So watch this. Here's another thing. You like somebody in the carnivore community, like their channel. Do you really think this information is need to be out? No.
Yeah.
They're flagging certain things. They're doing certain things, but I'm going to keep telling the story. That now, my daughter, no one has seen those pictures. That was private home stuff. And some people can say, why would you? Because I need for you to know that you can change. This is it's not how we have to be. All right, Laura, I know that. And I was not, just to watch this girl go through. That's all her baby knew. You didn't see her baby panicking, laying on her in the hospital. She just kind of looked up and just laid on her mama. That's what she knew at 4.5 years old. That's what that's kind of like what she knew. And my grandson didn't know that other people mamas was not sick.
Yep.
Food, y'all, food.
Yes.
You can't tell me anything else. Food.
Yep. Yep. I agree. A lot of that is the insulin resistance. And that's just where our cells do not respond properly to insulin. Usually that's due to the inflammation from the foods that we're eating. It can come from environmental factors as well. I think our bodies are good at fighting off a little bit at a time, but we're so bombarded with everything from, the stuff we breathe, we drink, we eat, any of that kind of stuff, stress. That kind of stuff can also bring that up. Some people think of insulin resistance and they're like, well, I'm not diabetic. And it's like, well, you're not diabetic yet. And insulin resistance can cause all of these other things. It really disrupts the way the immune system functions. It blocks the way we absorb vitamin D. And if we don't have the vitamin D, which most people are lacking, then the immune system not only doesn't work properly, but it can actually go hyperbolic and just become, overrun, where it does make you turn on yourself. Eats away muscle tissue. It can eat away bone. It can eat away brain tissue. It can eat away the connective tissues in the heart. I mean, that's where a lot of people see that. So I do think that insulin resistance is something that if you eat a ketogenic lifestyle, you will be able to turn that around. I'd say if you want to feel your ultimate best, I do think carnivore, if you have any of these issues, is going to be your best outcome. Just like Robyn said earlier, she just did 1 teaspoon of of heavy whipping cream a day for a week, and boom, it came back just that quick, just something that little. So I do think that we need to be mindful of that. If we have somebody in our family that has these issues, I'm not shy about it. Like, I'm not, some people are like, I wouldn't say anything unless they ask me. I don't do that, but I have that background of being a nurse, and they're always asking me for my opinion. So sometimes I just don't wait for them to ask, and I will go ahead and just start giving them the information. Um, even irritable bowel disease, that's an autoimmune disorder. Whether it be ulcerative colitis, and you know what just drives me absolutely insane, and not to say that there aren't some super intelligent people in the medical field, but how stupid are you when you look at somebody who has any of these conditions and think that, and tell them that what they're putting in their mouth means nothing? That is the absolute dumbest thing I have ever heard. I had a doctor that tried telling me that at 20, and I'm like, dude, the vehicle sitting outside, I rebuilt that motor. I have to run turbo blue, which is jet fuel, which is the highest octane fuel. I said, I think I'm going to do the same thing for my body. And he looked at me like I had three heads. 33 years later, I haven't had to have open heart bypass, which I'm sad that he had to have that done, but that's what it took for him to actually wake up. So that's just, I really hope people take this to heart, that this is something that is so curative, and that it's, and even if you're not sure, give it a try. What's 90 days? I mean, 90 days is nothing for you to at least try this and give it a true, honest, really good hard try, and reach out for support. We have a Marco Polo group that you can get into, and you have 24/7 access of bouncing ideas off of us, some simple questions that if you would have, that we will, be glad to get on there. We started today, so we were talking with some people yesterday and today, I think. So, get with other people that have your back, your ride or die people. And we have signed up to be your ride or dies. So if you need that, we say reach out to us.
Yes, I want to piggyback on that. It has been such a blessing to have you ladies in my life, for one. And I had someone on here. Let me just pop this up really quick. This question came across, wanted to know, how's the husband? I know, like, what happened on the soap opera type thing. I understand exactly what it was saying. And he's doing fine. But that initial, I am so happy that I was able to reach out and say, tell me the questions that, y'all, I let them know, excuse me, the president is coming in. He my president. Okay. So I ain't trying to date again. I'm not trying to do any of those things. We keeping this one. All right. This is the one that I want. So with that, Laura, tell me. And when I say I'm pushing, these are the tests that I need, because it's possible that they might be overlooking something, right? And so that group that we do have is extremely important to me. I love the fact Robyn comes on in the morning with some motivation. I'm just your coach. I'm the one telling you, clean your cabinet out, get rid of that stuff. You do those different things. Rhonda, as we haven't seen her, we just started. She's in the group as well. So I'm just saying to you guys, you get us. You don't have to wait till Monday. And so what is it that you need to do? You just need to go to any of our pages and click on join. But when you do that, you have to find the 1999 group. Like Prince in 1999. Yeah, you just have to find that group. That's the one you join. And for the whole month, the entire month, you're in that group with us. And we pop in, but I'm letting you know now, it might be in my pajamas. Okay. So that is truly a family that we are building. Listen, you might have to reach out and say, hey, what was that? We got the answer for you. It tickled me because right now everybody getting their exercise equipment and stuff together. Is that group or the other group? I don't know, but they're getting all the stuff together because I might call you out and say, hey, Robyn, let me see what you doing. And then she's out there doing a walk. So yeah, we're thankful. All right, what we got going, y'all?
I really would just want to add on to what you were saying about, and I think Laura actually touched on this as well, about the doctor telling you that food doesn't have anything to do. I mean, how crazy is that, right? Food, the things that you are consuming do not have anything to do with the medical conditions that you have, except for salt causes high blood pressure, which is a lie. It's just not the truth. Salt does not cause high blood pressure, does not cause heart disease. I just did an interview with Dr. Ovadia, and he talked about what truly causes, and it's this metabolic syndrome that we all have. You know, our bodies are drowning in too much insulin and too much glucose. So food does play a big part of what your body is doing. You know, and you think about all these autoimmune conditions. I was thinking about Lynn DeVoe, who has that mast cell syndrome.
Yeah. Yep.
It reminds me of what you were talking about with this, the disease that your daughter has. Just causing all kinds of havoc in her body. Wreaking havoc. I mean, so many different symptoms, you know, and then it turns out that food can change that. Food can cure that. Food can heal that.
Speaking of,
go ahead. I mean, the fact of the matter is that food matters. The food matters.
It does.
One of the things that they did change, they took her off of dairy because my daughter would throw up every day, 2-3 times a day. And what I used to do is get Ziploc bags, the little sandwich size, and I would put paper towels in it. She had to leave one in there for the vomit. And then the other one, she would wipe her mouth, toss it in there, zip it up, and toss it in the trash because I would take her out to eat. And before we make it back to the car, it was coming back up. She couldn't hold it down, just for that brief moment. And but then when we took her, we had to go homeopathic route. Then that's when like she threw up once in a month, and it was like, something, you know, but we started manipulating food, not knowing it was just straight meat that she needed.
And like, we need to eliminate processed food. So if you're eating pasta and you're eating, my family just over. I posted a video and lost 5 subscribers because I posted a video where they were frying chicken in my kitchen. Hey, the family's eating that stuff. I don't want them to eat it, but they're eating it. So that's what I show. This is my life, you know, and I'm talking, but you know, people gonna do what they want to do. And that's just a fact. And so what I'm saying is we can make the choices for ourselves. And if you're eating processed food, you should, at least at a minimum, if you want to eat all the vegetables you want to eat, eliminate the processed food. That's going to make a world of difference. But if you really want to heal your body, you need to eat meat.
So let me ask this question to the panel and to the people. Can you make lard at home?
Yeah.
Can you make beef tallow at home?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you make ghee at home?
You can.
Yep.
Yes.
Can you make vegetable oil at home?
Nope.
I don't think so.
I don't got no smokestacks.
Please tell me how I can turn around with those healthy fats. I can do that at home. I don't even need to leave and go to a grocery store at all. But I have yet to be able to squeeze out. You tell me Is it celery? Is it carrots? Is it broccoli? What vegetable is making all that oil that I can't duplicate at home?
It's a canola.
That's right.
What is
All
that?
of it is a canola.
The
What is
feed.
a canola? What
Yeah.
is a canola?
What is
Somebody
that?
tell me.
Canola oil, grape seed.
Which is horrible. Worst one for you.
Wait a minute. So is this actual seeds from a grape? Because
Nope.
I was getting ready to say I ate a grape with seeds in it and chew. I ain't feel not one bit of grease in my mouth. So I don't understand. But all those other things you have at home. You can raise chickens. You can do all of that. You have eggs. You can do all of that. So I'll say
Shoot
again,
deer.
shoot deer, get your own meat. So if there is something that, just think about it. If we all did this, where would our economy be?
Oh, we would be so much better off. You know, I saw
Health-wise,
my
yes,
doctor.
but so many people are digging in your pockets.
Yeah.
Right. But financially, we would be so much better off in the long run because of the cost of healthcare. The cost of healthcare that would be driven down, you would blow your mind. Right now, the number one expenditure in the welfare community, which I was part of, so I'm not downing anything about them, is the Ozempic drugs. That is because it's $1,500 to $2,000 a month. I saw my doctor 2 weeks ago, almost 3 weeks ago now. And she did not say anything about the lipids because she knows better. She didn't want to be fired. But I just said to her, I said, I don't understand why people think that factory man-made products are ever going to be better for the human body than what God naturally put here on the earth for us to eat.
So
I just,
margarine.
nope.
Come on, let's name all this stuff that they monkey footing and putting together, a little bit of this,
Broccoli
that,
wasn't
and the
here.
Yeah. I never saw
broccoli.
I
No.
never saw broccoli I've never heard of it. Neither
Yep.
broccoli nor cauliflower. Never heard of it as I was growing up.
Now cauliflower, okay, so I did, probably because where my mama was from. So cauliflower is something, but I swear, I promise, I think this is some broccoli on the side of the road as soon as you leave my subdivision. But the traffic is 55 plus. That's the only reason why I ain't like trying to pull over. But one day it's gonna catch me. It's gonna catch me. I'm like, please pull over. I really need to see what this is, and I'm gonna show the people. I am going to show the people. All right. Do we have any questions? Because we're getting ready to close on out. Go ahead.
We have a couple of them here, so let me pop up. Monarch Messenger says, so true, I have ulcerative colitis, and they told me to eat more veggies and gave me a biologic. I did 3 doses and ended up almost bedridden, not taking the meds, the messes. Don't take the messes.
You stand right, girl.
Consuming meat helped me. So that's awesome. Monarch Messenger.
I always tell people that have ulcerative colitis or any of that IBD issues is to go look up Kent Carnivore. His name is Lee. If you want to see a true testimonial watching his videos, it'll explain a lot.
Kent, Kent Carnivore.
Yep.
He's in I thought that was his name, but he's in Kent. I didn't know. Yes. And he actually has the bag now. So leave it alone. Oh my God, our poor kidneys. For those that don't know, I'm going through with Frederick. He was in stage 5 kidney failure. Laura helped with that too. I had all the right questions, but I was watching a video talking about how much sugar is in your system in the morning. On average, if your number is 80, that's like a teaspoon of sugar floating throughout your body. And that's your normal range. So now you imagine all what you're doing, the sweet tea that you're drinking, whether it's sugar in your coffee or anything like that, that Danish that you had for breakfast that was supposed to be so good, that glass of orange juice that you turned around, that bran muffin that you did, that banana that you decided to, all of this now. Listen, I know the banana that you go to the hotel, you can't get breakfast. We're going to stick the little goodies over in there, give you some peanuts and trail mix and all of that. On and on and on. And your body now, I realize, is overworking the kidneys with the sugar, and it has to process every piece of medicine that you put over in you. So when you're going to this doctor and you want the pills and all this other stuff so you can remain doing what you're doing, poor kidneys, it has to process all of that. And that's what we have learned. But the reason why Frederick numbers are like they are and trending, I mean, like literally down, almost like this, right? Is because he's never been this strict what he is right now. I can't get this joker to taste anything unless it's meat. Hey, I can't get him to take, look, girl, I can't get him to take a bath. I can't get him
no hot water.
Taste any yesterday was his organ meat day. So I did beef broth, and I use the cheek as the meat in it. And so because it has a lot of fat on that. So we did that. He had that in the mornings. I do his, he did some fat bites. He did his liver, and he did his steak and drank his water. He don't even want butter.
Gee, I have a question for you about your husband. I saw the video, the update video. And is that true? But soaking in the hot tubs for a long period of time is what contributed to that? Because I used to do that.
Absolutely.
So that scared me.
Absolutely.
So I was like,
so I listen for those. I am finishing up. As a matter of fact, before this show, I had Laura to record the I had her to record the medical aspect of it, because people were watching his video, and I know you could not have watched the whole thing, not y'all, them, because of the question that you asked me. It's like, I think you wanted the video to start and I give you the answer, but I had to tell you what was wrong with him. And so from all of those questions this time now, because he's doing better, even for how I tell my portion of the story is a little different. And then we have the medical aspect of it. But Rhonda, yes, long period of time in hot water, a sauna, gardening,
outside,
construction worker, kids on the playground, the elderly just sitting on the porch. You cannot by any means put your body through that major heat like that.
Okay.
And that's
I
what
don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
No, you can take a bath. You just can't do 10, 15 minutes.
3 hours.
No, I was in there for over an hour. I always did the hot tub. That's what I didn't know until I saw your video, G.
Yes,
so
yes.
Thankful.
Normally, like he would be texting us on the show from the tub, and then I get out. Now we've on here already 58 minutes. He's not in there now, but he would be in there. Then when I get out, he's still not out the tub.
Oh wow.
Yes, hot water, saunas, all of that. And it was so relaxing. And here's the part.
It is.
You don't know what's going on with your body while you laying there. You don't realize the sweat. You don't realize your electrolytes. Everything is out. So then ask yourself this question, Rhonda. Has it ever been a time where you got out of the water and you felt a little lightheaded or overheated?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's
a bad.
So let me just tell you that how your blood vessels and everything were rupturing. They opened up and they went, but when your body started cooling off, they got trapped right where they are. That's one. And then no matter what, when that happened to them, your kidneys could not filter them out.
I didn't even know that.
I know.
I didn't know it was dangerous.
Yes.
So thank
it's
you,
called
Frederick,
rhabdomyolysis.
What is it called? What is it called?
Rhabdomyolysis.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yep,
actually
rhabdomyolysis. So yeah.
girl. Yeah. Okay, what's next?
Yeah.
Hi,
And
lady.
All right.
you can get it
That's
from an accident
oh,
too. So there's other ways you can get it. You can get it like most of the time it's heat related, but you can get it from like a crushing injury, like elderly that fall down and lay in their house for a day or something against like they don't move and they're laying like that. Anything that causes those cells to rupture, but most of the time it's heat. So you can take a warm shower or a bath, but you want to keep it to like 10, 15 minutes. And then you want to kind of re-cool the body a little bit with like tepid water, like stand up and shower and kind of get yourself back to a normal level. You don't want to just go from hot to super cold, getting out. You want to kind of break it down. But I would never sit in something hot like that for an hour ever.
Wow. Okay, no
all right.
more.
We got a few more questions that came in.
So, Brandy, let me just say, yep, that's what they thought Danielle had in the beginning, lupus and fibro. And I'm telling you, I had fibromyalgia, baby. Every symptom, I could not get a pedicure because I just wanted them to paint my toes. You couldn't touch my legs. You could not. You know how they do the sugar scrub, and I could not do any of that. There's no, and I hated paying full price when you were just doing my toes. That's it. But my body could not handle it. I've never been one to have a massage. I've never been one to have any of that. Could not touch me. Baby, your girl getting massages. Your girl now I went and just said, do my toes. Just do them. Yep, I want the scrub. Oh my goodness, is this what y'all be doing? I could not. Yeah, none of that. And so I'm saying to you, yes, it is the food. Eliminate it. Eliminate
Yep.
it. Let me see.
And get rid of the prednisone if you possibly can. It has such bad side effects that if we tested your cells 50 years from now, we could tell you that you had prednisone because it will invade every single cell. There's times where it's absolutely the only thing to save your life, but they use it for everything and things that are not life threatening. But I would absolutely clean up my diet and just think of your body as a car. What you put in it is what runs it. If you don't put gasoline or if you have an electric car, you don't put electricity, it's not going to run. Our bodies are the same way. And do you want it to run clean and have the best energy, or do you want it to have to work through all the byproducts and bull crap that's in the stuff? I mean, that's just how I think of it. So that's how I
Found that
that's how I
prednisone, like it will alleviate the symptoms for a little while. But when I took prednisone, and they would always try to give you a course of prednisone for this eczema, for the itching, and it would clear it up. It would look beautiful. But then, like the next day after you finish the course, it would just flare so bad. It would make it 10 times worse. So that's what I found when they gave me prednisone, and finally I had to like say no more prednisone. And plus it wreaks havoc on your body. So yeah, 4 year prednisone is horrible, I think.
Laura, wait,
Yeah.
no, it's the other one that I just lost about our food. Okay, yeah.
This one?
They told us about red meat. Okay, so you eat that red meat, it's gonna sit in you 4-5 days. I'm telling you now, you don't fat make fat. Don't, yeah. So you
Nope.
think of everything that they have said to us for the most
Do the
part,
opposite.
because it all got us to where we are now. In pain.
Agreed.
But like I said, you can even make butter at home if you get the right stuff. You just shake it on up so you can make your own butter, your ghee, your lard, and your tallow. So if you can do all of those things from home, do you really think that's what they want you doing?
Nope.
Where am I getting ready? But if we do, they're going to come up with a way to make some money. They're going to come up with a way to make some money off of it. Just think of how many, when I say people being all these major hospitals, if everybody ate meat, you wouldn't need that. So that's to flip the whole medical field upside down. Wait a minute. Did you know
We need
you
that.
won't have to do ADHD meds? You won't need that.
That's right.
People, see, most of the adults are getting on this and then slipping the kid a little pill so they sit like this, focus in class for the day to make the teacher day a little better, and they sit and yeah, your kid losing weight, have no appetite, none of that. My grandson, oh yeah, he back on his meat now, and now he done went to school, so now everybody want to see it. And we in the meeting, and they said, "But I thought you had Jersey Mike's." And I looked at him. He said, "Yeah, my mama brought that." I said, "Did you eat the bread?" And he just kind of looked at me. He's like, "No, okay." See, I'm gonna get his mama on that one. But anyway, he told the school, and now they're actually looking at what what he's eating, what he's doing, and it's like, oh wow, yeah,
It makes such a difference
it
in
makes a
their
big difference.
behavior.
Yeah,
Yep, the school
you
is
don't
telling
get
like,
those
yes, give
notes.
that boy
You
some
don't get
meat.
that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. Smiling for You says, hi, I'm allergic to seafood, but I heard that lamb, grass-fed, and grass-finished has good omegas. And so I would get some good omegas if I cooked with that. So lamb. Is
I'm a
lamb
lamb
good in
person.
omegas? I'm not sure.
I
That
don't
one
know,
I'm
but
not.
it's good,
I
period.
I don't think you don't get as much of the omegas from any of the ruminant meats as you do seafood. I'm also allergic to seafood. Even saying the word shrimp makes me itch. I know it's too bad, but so I think cooking in those fats will help, but I do take a cod liver oil supplement, a capsule that's cod liver oil to make sure that I'm getting enough of those omegas. And I have done that for decades upon decades. So that's something that you might be able to do is just get some cod liver oil in the capsule. You don't want to do it just the oil itself. It's horrible. I know people have done it, but that's not going to be this girl. So that's what I would do to get your omegas, and then cook in butter. You can cook in ghee, stuff like that. But I don't think there is near as much of that. If you can do wild caught like catfish, um, panfish, which are I can't remember what the other name of those are, but there's some different kinds
Bluegills?
of yeah, yep. So there's other kinds of fish that you can do that are not
Say
seafood
it again.
and
Bluegill.
Bluegill.
bluegill. Yep, they call them panfish or bluegill. Things like that that are caught in like a river. So anything that has a current, then their omegas are going to be their omega 3s are going to be high. Pond raised fish have no current to fight against, so they don't get that exercise, and their omega 6s are higher. Plus, like where I live, I'm not eating anything out of a pond because all the farm ground leads down to the pond. No, thank you. I have enough glyphosate. I don't want it. In the river, even though the river looks dirtier than what you think it should, it is constantly being filtered, and so you don't have as high of those ingredients in the ones that are caught in the river. It's not something I would eat every single day, but it's something you could add in weekly.
And what? So salmon. When you said that, because I know they go upstream. So yeah, and
Very
their
good.
skin has a good
Yep.
oil in it. So yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
2 more. So Brandy's got 2 here. I got off the prednisone. It took 4 years. Then I lost vision in my left eye.
Did
I
her
told my
vision come back?
doctor- I told my doctor I will never take it again. Did your vision come back, Brandy? We pray it
First
did.
of all, are you eating meat?
Yeah.
That would be some of the things. All right, Miss Rhonda.
Hey,
Any
G.
questions? What say yes, the vision came back. Good. I'm assuming that's what that was. Go
I
ahead,
had
Yay.
one. I guess I had one for Laura because Robyn, you were talking about how the doctors or people were saying that to eliminate salt or reduce salt. But when you go to the hospital, how much sodium is in that saline bag they give us? They always give you that,
Yeah.
especially if you're
My
dehydrated. Isn't it like 900 something or 1,000 milligrams?
Oh my
Isn't
gosh.
Yeah, it's 1,000 mLs in
Right.
the bag. And so because they know that, but theirs is good salt. So the salt
Oh,
that's used in the saline bag is mineralized salt. So
okay.
It's
Of
not
what
like
we
the
eat.
table salt that has been chlorine and, you know, bleached and stuff like that and had other like maltodextrin or dextrose added to it. Um, but absolutely, they know that that opens up the cells and allows the fluid to get back in the cells, not just in the bloodstream where you're going to urinate it out, but actually hydrate you. So absolutely. My mom said this a couple years ago. She said, they told me I couldn't have salt. And I took her a nice little shaker of Redmond's real salt. I said, you absolutely can have anything you want, and you can refuse anything you don't want. You can refuse a medical treatment, a medicine, anything else. You have the right to do that. They do not own your body just because you're in the hospital. And if that's the case, they have
It's
this
so
little paper.
funny
It's called an AMA, and you can leave.
Wait a minute.
Mhm.
Ironically, okay, so y'all know my husband trying to save a dime. So they did an EKG at our doctor's office, right? So we get
Yeah.
there and they want another EKG. And I said, hold on. We just paid
Mhm.
for one over there. And it's like, well, we need
Yep.
you wait, it was one of those, if the heart is damaged because of what, that with the potassium and all this other stuff that he was
Yeah.
going through. And I said, so wait a minute, are you saying that we need the blood work to see if it affected his heart? And if it did, then we can do a EKG. But you're trying to do it now? Oh, no, ma'am, you're not going to run our bill up like that. And he was over in the other room saying the same. I got my own medicine. I don't want y'all stuff. He was taking it really for y'all. Yeah, but you really can't. You
Good.
have to speak up for yourself. So trust
You
and
do.
believe. When I would walk out that room, I know it. Oh, here she coming. Yes, this the president. I keep telling y'all, he my president. Yes, we not.
Yep.
And then they knew, because of my conversations. It's like they want to know, are you in the medical field? Are you something? Because you're asking intelligent questions. So that's why y'all want to be in our group, because if a medical emergency or something is popping up, you come on into our group for the carnivore ladies. You can ask that question. We get that information on out to you. But Rhonda, we're still back on you because we're so happy that you're here. You're live with us.
We are.
So
Well,
go right ahead.
That's
What else?
why it's important for us me, I'm a lay person because we have a professional nurse here on our panel, but it's important for us to, like you said, G, get educated, be our own advocates. That's one reason I attended that metabolic health conference, because I want to educate myself. So it's very important, even though I felt like I'm not a medical person, even though I have some medical experience from the military, but I don't really have a lot of medical experience. And I just loved that everyone at that conference, all the doctors, they were so down to earth, made me feel like I was part of them. They didn't look down on me. So it's just, this community is amazing, especially in this carnivore keto space. It's amazing.
It is. And
I
when you get to
agree.
go to a meetup and stuff like that, it is wonderful. All right.
So thank
Y'all.
you, G.
No, thank you. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
This was like a blessing.
Yes.
Y'all, who closing us out? I don't even know where we are now.
So, what are you guys doing on your channels this week? I will start with Laura.
I will be putting out, I think I'm going to put out a couple different videos. I've had some patients or some clients that have asked me to go over a couple different things. I haven't really nailed them down as to which one I'm going to do. We'll see. I did a video this week. I did a couple of them when I was making some products, like to show everybody how to do that. That way, if they want to make those products, they can. Otherwise, they can purchase them from me. They're very inexpensive. I won't say cheap, but they're very inexpensive. So I did do that, and I'll probably do another one of those this week as well. And then, of course, tomorrow night I'm with Russ on Homesick Buckeye. We're going to be grilling.
We grilling, baby.
Yay.
That's right.
So, how about you, Rhonda?
Okay, well, you guys aren't going to believe this. Okay, so you might already know that I had the opportunity to interview Dr. Tony Hampton at the San Diego conference. So I put a couple of those short videos on my channel, but I also this past week interviewed with him on his podcast, Protecting Your Nest.
Yes.
So
Oh, yay.
I'll let you all know as soon as he releases that podcast. So I'm, looking. It was actually very fun. It was fun doing that. He made me feel very comfortable. I wasn't nervous, so I felt it was a good interview. So that's all I have going on right now on my channel.
Right.
How about you, G?
Ooh, so for those that follow the channel, Frederick is exiting stage 5 kidney failure.
Thank you.
Thank God for the carnivore diet.
Yes.
I am not kidding. Thank goodness. We did release that video sharing what happened. We have part 2 coming out with the medical giving it. Watch the whole video. I can tell by your questions that you didn't watch the whole video. So hopefully that they do. But listen,
Worth watching.
I know I've been doing a lot of traveling lately, and I'm finally releasing those videos. So I did our anniversary. For the renewal of the vow. I got a lot of stuff coming out, y'all. I'm just too tickled about it. I just need my family to watch it. Yes, it's a lot coming out this week.
Awesome.
And what about you, Robyn?
For your carnivorous grandma, I am in my September challenge. We are doing a September high-fat stick of butter a day challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what we're doing for the month of September. I got tired of all the restricting and lean days and OMADs and forcing things. And I'm like, you know what? Laura just says eat more fat. So I'm going to try a stick of butter a day, like Bella, steak and butter gal. Like,
go get them butter boobs.
Y'all, I'm telling y'all what. I'm going to say this really quick before I finish my story about what I'm doing on my channel. Every diet, and I done been on hundreds of diets. Every diet, the boobs are the first to go. Sorry to say that. The boobs are the first to go. But when you eat high fat, you get to lose weight and still keep your boobs.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm doing that high fat. I was thinking about Bob Briggs. 10 years ago, he was doing a carnivore ketogenic diet. And he was talking about eating a stick of butter a day. And I remembered him and I was like, I'm going to try the stick of butter a day to see, does a stick of butter a day make your pants fall off? So that's my goal, is to find out.
He has us doing it.
And,
okay, I ended up with more fat bites today versus the butter. So I figure
which I think you could do. I think it's just the fat. You just want to, it's just easy for most people to be able to get a stick of butter versus maybe they don't have ribeye fat or stuff like that. But you can do any of that. I mean, I know people that make the tallow and will just, eat some of the tallow. I mean, to get their fat up that day. So,
right. Well, for me, I did those pork chips in the dehydrator. And then so they so crispy, y'all. You just break them like a chip. But you get it, and you take that soft butter and spread it about yay thick. Look, about yay thick. And put another one on top. Then when you squeeze it, the butter scoots out on the ends, and you eat. Oh my God, that thing is so good. Yeah.
So I'm doing my September challenge. I'm doing daily videos still. I'm trying to put out a video every day for you guys, talking about what's going on. Some will be shorter, some longer, depending on the topic of the day. And then this weekend, I am going to be having, I'll put up Thursday, Carnivore Masterminds with Nia at Nia's Way, Thursday evening at 7:00. And then on Saturday, I'm going to be interviewing a gentleman that I met on G and Frederick's 20th anniversary carnivore cruise, Gerard Luby. I'm super excited to interview him. He has not been interviewed on any channels. He does not have a channel, but he's an African-American male. And I'm like, your voice
and a
needs to be heard.
Yes.
Come on the channel. So he's coming on Saturday morning at 11. And then my regular Carnivorous Grandma Speaks Women of Wisdom series on Saturday evening at 5:30. I will be interviewing Alia Wells. And you guys may know her. She is a person that does a lot of fundraising for the Healing Humanity documentary. She's real close and tight in there with Carrie Mann and Adam Carnivore Today. So I'm looking forward to get an opportunity to interview her on my channel. So that's what I have going on this week.
Wonderful.
Very good. All right. Well, in the meantime and in between time, I like to say you work your thing and I work mine. We thank you guys and we will see you all. We have a phenomenal topic for next week.